Good evening. I've been mulling over how I wanted to do a conclusionary video for Ghost Recon Wildlands here for a little while. It's kind of why I haven't really put out much content for Ghost Recon lately. The main issue I've had is once I beat the game, there was a few letdowns to it, and as the game progressed, there were some kind of annoying things. So I'll start with one that's kind of obvious, the repetition. There's a very repetitive nature to the gameplay. Now, the various areas that you can go attack have some unique designs to them. Yeah, some of the buildings are copy-pasted, but on the whole, there's a good dynamic to attacking villages and attacking areas. The downside to some of that is if you aggro Unidad or anything like that, they're going to come and you can pretty much guess exactly what's going to happen to either win or lose. Most notably, though, it's the collection of items. Grabbing weapons cases, collecting the resources, the food supplies, and then the skill points. Later on, towards the end of my gameplay, they did patch it to the fact, or to allow you to level up as a group. So if somebody tagged some supplies, the entire team got credit for it, which was a great addition. But I really didn't see much point to tagging the supplies. At the start of the game, it made no real sense because the cartel owned the entire map. Yeah, I was stealing some supplies that were already delivered. But why did they need to do airdrops and take all these supplies out to local areas when they own the map? Towards the end of the game, how did they have so many supplies when the rebels controlled most of the map? So just some inconsistencies there, and there's really no point to it. Leveling up my character wasn't a rewarding experience. I didn't learn new skills as the game developed. Honestly, I didn't level up my character at all until the very end. I put 1 or 2 skill points into things here and there, but really I had no need to. I was able to beat the game virtually unleveled because there was no point. As you saw here a moment ago in the clip, I had 26 available skills, and this was halfway through the game. I just had no need to upgrade, so I didn't really find a lot of purpose behind that. And I think they could have implemented a much better system to reduce the redundancy of that. It's not like I'm playing an Asian MMO where you spend a lot of time grinding, like the Silk Road or something like that. They're not bad games, but you spend most of your time grinding away. And that just kind of killed this one for me. Now, by far the most annoying aspect of all came down to the actual story itself. At the beginning of the game, the story's kind of engaging. It's cliche, of course, but it's got some interesting aspects and some potential to it that really sounds good or intriguing. You're the 4 guys that have been sent down by Bowman, and spoiler alert, you guys are set up to take down the cartel. The specific missions at the beginning as you ingratiate yourself into the rebels and into the area and you start learning about what's going on were very interesting. They did a lot of kind of interesting things. Yeah, some of the over and unnecessary cursing. I don't care if people curse, whatever, but if there's just random curse words to be random curse words, what's the point? You could do something better and not sound like a grade schooler who just learned a new word. The stories, they started kind of interesting, but then they went downhill. Nice. Like, they had no idea what depth they were going to do with any of the storylines and just kind of shot themselves in the foot. The end of the game was just abysmal. The way they tied everything together with Sueño was just terrible. The videos didn't make sense, and the whole storyline didn't really add together in a congruent fashion. It's as though they laid everything out to be played one way and then sold the game, allowing you to play it in any way you wanted, because I didn't play it the way they wanted me to. And so when I got to the end, the story videos didn't tie together properly, and it really didn't make a lot of sense. So right now I'm about to grab a high value target and just listen to how the story goes. And this is what I'm talking about, how they just went to crap for no reason. They had such an intriguing story, and then they just made it childish for absolutely no reason. And this just explains why I disliked it. So here we go.
You Arturo Ruiz? TJ Perico's former bodyguard?
Perico? Man, fuck that guy. That pinche puto shot my dog.
He shot your friend?
No, man, he shot my dog, mi perro. The Paloma never did nothing to no one.
Perico killed your pet? What for?
Hijo de su reputa madre, Perico was trying to smoke weed out of an AR-15. Fucking thing went off and got Paloma. Still have nightmares about that. Wake up with the shakes and shit.
You want to get back at Perico? Give me his real name. A photo too.
Man, Perico's real name is Marco Garcia.
So these
don't have no
cartel
photo.
guys
I hope
that
you
go to
can-
jail and do all this stuff for each other, I'm supposed to believe that that guy's so pissed off at Perico because he shot his dog from smoking weed out of an M16? Come on. That's worse than what most high school kids could come up with. I know I could have done better in high school. And that's the quality that the story just became near the end. They had a few interesting missions interspersed throughout the crap ones, but really, why do I care? If that's the type of people they are, I'm just going to shoot them. Why bother? And that's why the story, about 50% of the way through, it just went down the toilet for me. And it really killed some of the fun because they really did set up this very intriguing story and then just did nothing with it. So that was very annoying for me, and that's probably the worst aspect of the game. Now, I mentioned in one of the early videos that you can make things a lot more difficult by getting rid of the minimap, the HUD elements, and basically all of the screen stuff, which really does make it very difficult. Almost to the point where it's not playable because the game's designed around having some of those elements. So not being able to see where my teammates are made it virtually impossible. Not being able to see checkpoint callouts even on the map made it very difficult. So I've played a few rounds and I've had to go back in and kind of add certain details back in just so I can find people and stay together as a team. But it really does make it a more interesting experience when you really can't see anything, and it makes attacking some of the large city areas more fun and also a little bit depressing because you really can't see a lot of the people that are there. There's not a lot of civilians left, and Bolivia should have a lot more civilians in some of these areas, so I think they kind of skimped out on that. Overall replayability for the game is coming down to just raiding the places. The game's a little goofy. It's not, to me, a true Ghost Recon because you're not really a ghost. You show up and run a gun. And by the end of the game, there's no point in having weapons. There's no point in leveling up. There's no point in unlocking things. By the time you've hit the end, once you understand the mechanic, you can just dominate everything. It is a lot of fun to sneak around. There are some good difficulties to it, but you have to kind of lower your expectations a lot. And going in like that, I don't feel that I wasted my money. The story is crap after the first 50%. Hard mode needs to be modified a little bit. Not that the AI is too difficult, it's more just the HUD elements that you remove are so ingrained into the game that it's very difficult to play without some of them enabled. So you can't go cold turkey with none of them, but you can't really keep them all either. So graphically, the game is beautiful. Some of their patches have fixed a few things, but visually the game was very stunning. I just wish they'd kept a little more.
Pretty good video,
Ghost
man.
Recon. Looking forward, the first DLC with the cars, forget about it. It's just so against the game, and the DLC I got for pre-ordering it for the Cartel Road or whatever it was called was stupid. It was 3 missions of crashed airplanes repetitiveness. So I've had a lot of fun doing random stuff in this game with my friends. We've found some great areas to base jump off of. We've had some absolute fun storming the castle, as it were, and taking things down. So if you have a group of friends that you want to play a kind of a screw-around game with, and then at moments make it very serious and kind of play how you want to play, I definitely recommend this game. It's not perfect. It's very far from perfect. Look for it when it goes on sale a little bit, and I think you won't be too disappointed. Anyway, thank you for watching.